Yeah. But go ahead. Oh, Crystal, go ahead.
Yeah, I can talk now. I've been driving and listening to you guys. I'm still driving, but I can talk now. And as far as it's not normal. No, it's not normal. And you're saying passiveness versus anger, and I'm saying that if you live in America today and you're a Black person and you're not angry, then something's wrong, because things have not changed. We're just paying attention to something else right now, and that's the pandemic. But the pandemic is just one stage. We're still hungry for justice, for everybody who loses their life, or anybody who, when we know tomorrow or the next day, once a person is arrested, the next day there'll be somebody else shot dead by the cops. You know, how can we not be angry? I'm angry, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not going to refrain from it. I'm not going. Like the gentleman said, look, I was brought up in the streets of Detroit, Michigan, with the Black Panthers. I expected this stuff to happen. I still expect it to happen. Unless we get angry and do something about it and continue to do something about it, then it's never going to change. You know, we help with social programs like the Black Panthers did, and they still called them criminals and the enemy of the state. But they were out there doing social stuff. They were out there helping, feeding us, teaching us, me as a kid, okay, teaching me about discrimination and what was going on, and teaching me how to defend myself. Okay, so this has been going on for far, far too long. And unless we get angry and stay angry and be willing to fight for the justice all the way through the courts. I mean, like I said, I worked in legal background. I come from a legal background. It was always being explained to me why cops had a right to kill people. I was reading an article today, and I encourage everybody else to read it. It was a law review discussing localized legislation. What goes on right in your city? How they get around real laws? How they get around making themselves accountable for what goes on today? And it's because we have sit back and we have allowed it. Now we have more judges, more lawyers, more legal people reviewing what is really going on, how they blow things out of proportion so broad that, you know, you can't put your finger on the crime, and then again, how they reduce things so small to eliminate why the law was made, to eliminate the wording that keeps you from having consciousness, a thought, having you being responsible for how you react, So there's a lot of stuff out here to do. And I applaud you, Stephanie, for bringing this out, because this is just one step, but there's so many avenues. There's so much that we have to do that I'm going to remain angry, because I think anger works. I don't think passiveness works, okay? And we have too many passive people, and we're always ready to sit down and say, oh, well, let's just, let them talk and let them do it their way. And no.
Yeah.
If we just like Trump said, told those people in that insurgents, you have to get out there. You got to fight. You got to fight for what you want. They didn't have a problem getting angry, even if it was behind a lie. It didn't bother them one bit. Did they get murders like animals on the street?
No.
The law is not here to protect us. I'm sorry. It just isn't. We've been in this world for too long. You've all seen it. We can stop ducking our heads and acting like it's not the truth. The truth is the truth. They're not behind us. You're a black person. You're subject to get killed and shot by police, period. And you will never have to answer for it. Just like you showed the videos at the beginning. They go out there and they kill us, and they're out of jail on bond, and they don't come back to court. Come on. Come on, you guys. All of George Floyd's killers are walking around the streets today freer than you are as a black man. Free on freedom. We have to get angry. It's a process, and we have groups that need to attack legislation. We have people that need to attack justice system. We need people that do sociology. You know, every aspect of economy, finances, every area of this world, the ecosystems here. We have to have a group of people that are angry and serious about destroying racism, getting rid of it so it doesn't impact. Like I said before, I don't care what you call me. You can call me names all you want. I don't care what you say to me. All I care about is how, if you stop my upward mobility, I have a problem. If you kill my brother and sister unjustly, I have a problem. If you introduce and put forth legislation that hurts us as a community, I have a problem. Okay? So those are the areas that we need groups like this to intervene continuously forever in racism forever. It's a process. It's a work in process, and we need to all be on board. And the one thing that I'm talking about, the one thing is what everybody knows, but no one's willing to say, is unity. We have to be together on this, and we cannot be persuaded to turn away from it, to give up. We cannot have fear. We cannot have, we can't continue to have this happen. I feel so bad because I talk this stuff. But if it was my child and a police officer was doing something to my child, I would die for my child. There's going to be casualties, and there's no way of getting around it. There's just no way. If a police officer were to throw my child on the ground and straddle her, he would die at my hands if I could get to him, and I am not lying. Life, and people could say that's ignorant, that's stupid, but you know what? There's going to be casualties. There is going to be casualties, and we have to be willing. We have to be willing to stop being afraid. We're losing our lives irregardless. Yes. We're losing our lives. We're losing our stance, and we have to be willing to fight, whatever fighting is, whether it be through paper, but it needs to be everything. It needs to be all of it, not just, not just paper, not just speaking, not just walking. I mean, marching is good, all of this stuff is good, but we need to do it all.
Yes.
We need to do it all. That's in my opinion.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Go ahead, sir.
She spoke a mouthful. And I'm talking about she's deep. And I want to say this. In 1994, when the Three Strikes Law came out, NAACP and Jesse Jackson, all them. Now I understand what the sister was saying. Now I understand what she was saying. But they told him, Jesse Jackson, Maxine Waters, and all of them, when that Three Strikes Law came out, they said, if you fight this, you don't never have to worry about being in power again, ever in your life. And they said, we will take this up at a different time. At a different time. They backed off. Just what the sister right there was saying, Miss Crystal. Yeah. That's the whole key right there. The people in power, the powers to be told them, if you fight this and you fight against this, you will not have to ever worry about office again in your life. And they submitted. See, that's the problem. I'm not going to submit. Brother Starfurry, you're not going to submit.
Oh, no.
Crystal not going to submit. Sister, that's where it starts. I'm not submitting to nothing and nobody. Because the sister Crystal said it. I don't care what you think or say about me. Because, and let me say this, and I don't mean to be harsh or anything like that. And forgive me for my language. What another person eat don't make me dump.
That's right. That's right. You're so right.
Yeah, because I'm going to continue with what I know. It's not a belief, it's what I know. Just like the sister.
We've seen it. You've lived 60-something years. I've lived 60-something years. I mean, I was back in the day when we were younger. They were fighting. We were fighting with our fists, with our weapons. We were fighting, and we accomplished more. Back in the 60s, we didn't see the racism to the level that we see it today. We just didn't. You know, we were fighting, and we need to continue to fight. In every area, like I said, every area. And guess what? Just because people back down back in the day when they told them no fight the 3 strikes law, doesn't mean that God's hand wasn't in it. So we can't always, think that God made this world. God is in control of this world here, right? So whatever happens, it happens for a reason. He allows it to happen. And once he allows it to happen, now that we've gotten to the point where we've gotten our muscle back, well, I feel like, some people out here, there's people out here planning to take our lives back, okay? Don't, with God or without God, there is room for anger, just like that video we looked at a couple weeks ago, Staffery. Angry. You have to get angry. You have to get angry. You have to be willing to take your life back and do whatever it takes to do it. But, this stuff doesn't happen by chance. God knew it was going to happen this way. He knew it. And everything works together for the good of those who love Christ. And we love Christ. And God says, don't steal, kill, or destroy. These people have been killing, stealing, and destroying us all our lives since our existence.
Crystal, again, you're bringing that fire. Thank you. I mean, you're taking us to the deep end. We need to hear it. Everybody needs to hear it. I want to listen to this online. I don't really say this much because sometimes it is true, sometimes it's not. But as we close, I just want to say, first of all, thank you for all being here. Thank you so much again. Crystal, Rudy, even Nabiha, she had to leave. Thank you all, because it needs to be spoken. But I used to have, when I realized how severe racism and discrimination really, really was in America, for a long time, when I was doing some soul searching, getting into the manhood that I am today, God used to tell me something, and I had a feeling. My feeling is this: if we don't work to end racism and discrimination, literally today, now, there won't be any Black people left. And when I mention that to people, they're like, "Oh, Starford, you're talking about your film school. Oh, you're doing some film thing." No, I'm being serious now. I'm being very serious. And I said, and people give me that look. I said, dude, I'm being for real. If we keep going down this path, there was a movie, and I'm gonna end it with this. There's a movie a long time ago called Soylent Green, and if you never watched it, it's a really, really powerful movie where people at the end, I'm gonna spoil it for you. At the end of the movie, it's about people eating people. That's what it was about, right?
Yeah.
And I said, if we don't try to stop this now, it's going to hurt white people, and it's going to hurt Black people. We may be gone, but it's going to hurt them even more, because the reason if we don't try to end this and come together, I'm telling you, something tragic is going to happen to humanity. And we are on that path. We're seeing it. We're seeing it now.